19th-century daguerreotypes of male couples. Experience the incredible AI and manual photo restoration of rare antique 19th-century daguerreotypes. This video brings photographs of the earliest historical male couples to life with stunning detail and color. Daguerreotypes were an early form of photography, invented in 1839 by Louis Daguerre. They created a single highly detailed image on a polished silver-coated copper plate that had been sensitized with iodine vapors to make it light-sensitive. After exposure in the camera, the plate was developed using mercury vapor and fixed with a chemical, usually sodium thiosulfate or salt. The result was a unique, mirror-like photograph that couldn't be reproduced. If you wanted a copy, you had to take another photo. Daguerreotypes were the first commercially successful photographic process, and they marked the true birth of practical photography. They were especially popular for portraiture because they produced crisp, lifelike images. However, the process was expensive, time-consuming, and involved toxic materials. They dominated roughly from 1839 to the mid-1850s, but by around 1860, they had mostly fallen out of use. Newer and cheaper processes like the ambrotype and tintype, and later paper-based albumen prints, replaced them because those newer methods allowed for easier duplication and safer handling. Restoring these old daguerreotypes with AI is more rewarding than restoring vintage photos from the later decades of the 19th century because the basic quality is excellent. The term, "the mirror with a memory," was famously coined by the American writer Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr. in 1859 to describe the daguerreotype, the world's first practical photographic process. It is called a mirror because the image is fixed onto a highly polished, silver-plated copper sheet. When you hold it in your hand, the first thing you see is your own reflection, just like looking into a silver mirror. However, Holmes called it a mirror with a memory because of the way the image appears. When you tilt the plate to a certain angle, reflecting a dark background, your own reflection disappears, and a startlingly detailed, almost ghost-like image of a person from the 19th century emerges from the silver. Unlike modern photos, it isn't a print on paper. It is a unique, one-of-a-kind physical object. Because it's a direct exposure with no negative, you are looking at the exact same light that hit the person in the studio over 170 years ago, remembered by the silver surface. Daguerreotypes were made against neutral backgrounds to maximize the clarity of the highly detailed subject and to complement the technical limitations of the early photographic process. Because daguerreotypes are essentially unique polished mirror images, a busy background would often create distracting reflections or interfere with the image's tonal range. The backgrounds in this video are all created by me in an attempt to gently support and draw focus to the main attraction. My restored and colorized photos are at best impressionistic interpretations of the original photos. It's important to bear that in mind while you are watching. The digitally restored and colorized images are all artificial or fake in the sense that they never existed in the exact form I present them here. My playlist Vintage Vibes and Timeless Tales is a series of videos with restored vintage photos of vintage men. Thank you for your time.